And welcome back, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. And today, let's talk about The Division. And, well, The Division is Ubisoft's open world MMO third person shooter. And first of all, I have to say that the world of The Division is amazingly designed. The design is just, it blows my mind. It's a recreation of the city of New York right after a sickness or a virus struck it. And you can tell that the city's been abandoned by people who were in panic. You'll see cars being left on the roads. You'll see police lines. I mean, it's the design is constant in this game. It is varied. It's not all the same. It just blows my mind. The problem that I have with how the game looks is the colors. But this is a personal note, by the way. I'm very perceptive to colors. The colors are pretty grayish. They're pretty white and sort of depressing looking. I guess this is the look and feel that they were going for. And same goes with for a game like Skyrim. Like when that was released, the vanilla game of Skyrim looks kind of grayish, and that sort of influences my mood. So that's why I play Skyrim with E and B mods, so that I actually see vivid colors. I I see more colors, and that just improves my mood. But again, that's a personal note. Again, this is a well-designed world, but the problem is that Ubisoft does not seem to capitalize on that world. Whether it is a Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, or The Division, the story usually the stories are kind of forgettable, and same goes for The Division. Also, the characters are kind of forgettable, and it all made me wish I actually played the part where the virus struck the city. I would have liked that. I would have I would have wanted to play that part, not the aftermath as you do now. So what do you do in this game? Well, you shoot people in the face. Now, usually I don't have a problem with digital violence. On the contrary, I think digital violence can be a outlet for people to blow off steam from their daily lives and the frustrations. But what I don't necessarily like is violence without context. Again, you're shooting people in the face, and it does not seem to correspond well with the idea behind the game that you're part of this group of people, that you're looking for the source of the virus, and you're mopping up stuff, and which is very noble. But the only thing you'll be doing in the game is shooting people in the face, right? And you'll be shooting a lot of bullets in people's faces because of the enemies that are very bullet spongy, and a lot of people have been complaining about that. But personally, again, I don't have much of a problem with that because you know that's part of an MMO. You gotta. I don't think there's any other way they could have done it than to make the enemies progressively harder. And I don't think that a lot of people would have had a problem with this bullet sponginess if it were a game like Borderlands, because Borderlands, they throw all these strange beasts and bosses at you, but Ubisoft decided to go for more of a realistic look and feel of the game, and then the bullet sponginess sort of stands out for you to see and say, hey, I'm shooting this guy in the face, but he's still standing. And again, that's of course not realistic, but I don't see any other way how they could have done it. You can't rely only on AI because AI can only go so far. The AI in this game is pretty competent. Enemies will throw grenades, they will try and flank you, and the gameplay itself sort of reminds me of, or the shooting I should say, of Spec Ops: The Line, where you sort of hide behind cover, pop out, shoot, and do all that. Now, it is fun. The shooting is fun. I liked it, especially when you team up with friends, play this game in co-op. I think you actually should play this game in co-op. That's the best way to play this game, I think. Now, along the way, you'll pick up better gear, better weapons, and so forth. I didn't really like the looting that much, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I just like to have distinctive weapons. So a game like Borderlands gives you a whole range of different weapons, and here you just get military weapons that are a little better than the one you're carrying. So it sort of turns into a game of numbers, really. You know, this one is better than that. And of course, Borderlands was a game of numbers as well. But they actually tried to hide that fact, to cover that fact with just how the gun looked, or I don't know, the different kinds of enemies that you would encounter in a game like Borderlands. There was a great variety of enemies. Not so much in the Division. You will be fighting the same kind of enemies throughout the game, you know, or variants of the same kind of enemies. But again, you know, the shooting is solid. There's fun to be had with the shooting. The thing that I didn't like is the fact that almost all players look the same. Now there is some variety in clothing, but usually it's just a different jacket and a different hat, or I don't know, something, or a backpack. Everybody's wearing backpacks, and it looks like everybody looks the same basically. And the thing is that because it's an MMO, the world will not change. The things that you'll do in this game will not change the world. You know, there will not be consequences for the world, right? So the only thing that changes is your character, who'll get better equipment, who'll get better statistics. So you'd better make it interesting for people to dress up the character the way they would have they like to do that. And it's just not there because everybody looks kind of the same, right? So there isn't for me an incentive to keep playing even more hours, because I know that it does not change that much in terms of how my character looks. I like to dress up my character. That's why if I play a game of Guild Wars or any other MMO, that's what you do. You know, it's the only thing that you can change in the game. It's how you look. So, and the and the weapons you're carrying. So yeah, that's what I think of the Division. It's a fun game for a while. I'm not even touching the Dark Zone thing where it's PvP, because a lot of people have been complaining that it just doesn't seem to work going rogue and fighting. I have not touched it, so I can't really comment on it. But I'll be playing that in half a year's time just to see how it fares. But at this point, I just play through the story. I play with some friends, and that's the way you should play this, I think. So yeah, that's what I think of the Division. So let me know what you think of the Division, and see you in the next video. Bye.